Hey everybody, my name is Ray. A lot of you probably know me already, if you're watching this video at least. Some of you know me as Degen Chad. Some of you know me as Ray's Wrecked Plays. Um, I won't make this video too long. I just want to talk real quick about how I find these Degens. I've had a lot of people start asking me what I'm doing to find them, and it's not anything super special. A lot of it is something you probably could have found if you just looked a little. But I'll give you guys a nudge and show you what you gotta find. Um, so the first thing is I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. Please do your own research. Please look into any token that you're investing in. If you're gonna go the route that I go and just throw money at random contracts that launch without doing any research, just be aware you could lose all that money. You know. But it also means if you do that and it turns out to be a real token, you can make a lot of money too. Uh, So how much, I personally invest into these, I might just try to throw in like zero point zero 0.02 Ethereum, which right now it's maybe like $22. Um, I might try to throw in a little bit more if I'm confident in the token and I know it's safe. Um, so the first thing that I should probably do is talk about like the different tools that you would want to use to try and spot like a lot of these fakes. So a lot of those tools they're going to start out in Telegram. So a lot of you in the DeFi space you should already know that Telegram is like the main source for everything right now. Um, Bear with me here because I'm also in a trade and I'm just kind of watching my trade. I'll show you guys that later. Um, so first things first, yeah, those tools. So you want to look for something in here. You could just search BSC Safe Sniper and it should come up. So that's if you want Binance tokens and Binance alerts. And then there's also the ETH Safe Sniper channel. Okay, and this is where it gives you alerts for. Basically, this guy has a bot that he programmed in Telegram to scan for new pair launches that have like locked liquidity that his bot detects as being safe, but it doesn't always catch them. There's lots of honeypots in here, rug pulls, and people in here just get like super mad, and like you could. I feel bad for the guy because they're all like saying it's his fault, but I don't think it is. I think it's just his bot. Um, but you have to be in this channel in order to be in the Safe Analyzer bot channel, where you can just take any contract address and you could just paste it, and it'll pull up like a little detailed description of it. So it tells me like, okay, the owner renounced the contract. And what that means is that the dev is restricting his ability to do certain things. Like an example would be if he wants to make changes, he can set it up so that like three different wallet addresses would have to like sign before he can make like a drastic change or something. So that's like there's different restrictions, and I guess that's why a lot of people get very excited and feel more peace at mind when they see a renounced. But it still doesn't really mean anything to me because you can have everything green across the board. This one's green across the board to me. I'm invested in this one. It's doing well, but this could still be a rug. Somebody could still somehow put a major tax on it or something. They could increase the tax to 99%, and after this lock is up after 30 days, all the money that people put in, it wouldn't be all the money, it would be the percentage that goes towards the liquidity pool, but it could be a lot from all those transactions. And then after 30 days, this guy who provided all the initial liquidity, he gets to pull that out, and he also gets to pull out all the liquidity that we put in. So that's like one thing that scammers do. They'll also sometimes, and I don't know how they do this one, but like you'll buy the token, you'll see you have it in your available balance, and then suddenly it just all disappears, and you're just like, what? And you can't get it back because they just somehow took it from you. Um, and then so like I don't look much at the holders count, market cap, or liquidity because maybe a little bit on the liquidity because you want a decent amount, but I don't look at these because you're just trying to buy into it right away. it kind of gives you a breakdown of the fee percentages. They're not always accurate. And the one thing about these scanners is that they are not accurate as soon as these tokens launch. They can be very inaccurate. Like this Solana token, when it first launched, it actually said like it was bad. And like it came up red and it was like no liquidity lock or anything. So I got like a little nervous because I already threw money into it, but then they locked it and I was like, yeah, I was like, we're gonna make some money on this. Which it's actually this one right here. Oh my god, it's still climbing. See, I got in like right in the beginning, and I'll show you guys how to spot these like that. Um, so okay, the other one is Crypto Fighter Bot. This one, hold on, there it is, Crypto Fighter Bot. This one I don't really like to use all that much. If you type in CSF and then paste a contract address, it kind of does like a little scan of it for you. Let's see if it pops up here. And it's not doing it. Let me try again. Oh, I did because I did the wrong. I did CSF. Okay, so pops up. It gives you all the same details: how old it is, the market cap of it, what chain it's on, if it's renounced. It's not a honeypot. You can sell it. You have 2% buy and sell tax on here. Some of these are like, it tells you these are scams. I think these are just little things that the bot detects that might seem kind of fishy, and it might just be like, be leery. Um, Max holder looks like 3%, which isn't crazy. You just don't want somebody to have a huge, percent right in the beginning. Liquidity's locked, it says on there, and sometimes, like if it has a Telegram, it'll have a little link down here to it. Um, this one just tells you like Dex tools, so you can open it up in Dex tools. So those are the main two like Telegram scanners I use, but like I also scan right through Dex Screener because it's still going. Um, if you come over on the right side here, they have a token sniffer, which a lot of you probably know what it is already. Um, so if you come in here, it shows you a little bit about it. It tells you if it's sellable, the taxes, and it tells you here if it's a verified contract source. And what that means, it just says the contract source code was not uploaded and verified on Etherscan, and it cannot be analyzed for vulnerability. So you have to be careful with these when you're up. Maybe make sure that you take profit. Like I just checked to make sure I could still sell that token, and I can. Um, okay, so that's one. There's also another one. If I was on the BSC side, they don't have it on ETH, so that's why when he created the ETH BSC sniper, like that was super helpful. You could paste in ETH contracts and it would scan them. So on Binance here, let me open a random token. Looks like that might actually be a real token. I clicked good. So on this one you have Stay Safeu, and it's kind of the same thing. They're all the same concept. Tells you if it's locked. Tells you, um, what it scores it at. The taxes. Now this is totally wrong. Oh no, this is Saver, so it's a different contract. I'm sorry. Um, that's really it though. I mean, and that's kind of what I'm looking for. I'm just looking for really the liquidity lock. Um, if you want to check other things out to make sure it's kind of real, like the other thing I do is I scroll all the way to the bottom. I go to the first buys, and if you can tell, a lot of these buys don't go above 20,000 because that's the max wallet size, which is good. It means the dev put it in a max buy. It also means that bots can't screw you over and get you like or screw up your entry point by like putting in a huge buy right before your buy and then dumping right after yours. I hate that. I hate that so much. I've thrown like $100 in it something, and I've just instantly been turned down to like 40 because he just put my entry point so high and then dumped on me. Um, so be careful about that. Make sure you are setting your slippage um, over here. Make sure you turn this to like 20. Don't do like 30 even because that gives it enough leeway for a bot to come in and do that. Um, the other thing that you can look out for is just like if there's any cells right away. So okay, there's some cells here, so you can kind of say that's kind of normal. You can also look at the graph pattern. So this looks like an average pattern. It doesn't look symmetrical. It's got like normal, I guess you could say like somebody, a ton of people are racing in, and then somebody takes a little bit of profit, but then it's racing up again, and somebody takes a little profit. It's normal give and take. Now there's tons of transactions coming in, pretty big transactions, which is another good indicator. You're going to see big sells right after big buys because they're just taking their profit, but you just got to hope that other people are scooping that up. Um, what else? So that's mainly like how you would spot a fake, maybe right out of the gate on Deck Screener. So so now you want to probably figure out like how do I find these? Now that you know how to like scan them, it's very simple. Honestly, I find them two different ways. If I'm sitting at my computer, I'll go right to like the Ethereum. I'm sorry, the Ethereum network over here, and down at the bottom you can open up a filter tool, and I usually just up here by rank by, I select pair age, and then I click on ascending because we don't want the older tokens at the top, we want the newer tokens. You apply it, and it kind of just gives you like a rough idea now of like, you see a lot of garbage here. Like you're probably like, how you look at that, and there's Solana 2, that's the one I'm in, which again, hopefully that does pretty good, we'll see. There's other ones here that you can probably spot. This one actually looks like it'd be real. FTX 2.0, but let me check. Yeah, that graph looks normal, and like the buys are all pretty low in the beginning. Nobody's got a huge bag. It just launched 12 minutes ago, 7 minutes ago. It's pretty pumped. It's 327%. If the dev doesn't push it, it might just die here. Um, So, but to look through here, I look at all the transaction count. I make sure like it's got over, a decent amount. If it's got like 2 and 1, those are duds. You don't want those. And anything that's got a 0% in the 1 hour chart here or the 1 hour column, you can avoid that because why would you want to buy into a token that doesn't have any volume for an hour? So look at the 5 minutes. If you look down here and you see like Solana Classic, okay, that one's doing actually pretty well. Over an hour, it's done really good. 6 hours, really good. 24, it's green across the board. It's got a lot of transactions. This is a real one. Now, it's probably been out for a little while, which it looks like it has. And this is like a third Solana Classic. This one died, and then it looks like it's trying to rebound now. Because that can happen too. You might buy in up here, and then it just dumps, and you're like, oh, I'm going to sell it now. And then, like, you do, and then you look back at this graph, and then suddenly it's like up here, and you're like, shit, I shouldn't have sold. Everybody knows that feeling though. This was a BSC one that again I just randomly clicked on, and it happened to be a real token that launched an hour and a half ago. Scroll down to the bottom. There's a max buy on the tokens, which is good. Um, Nobody put any little like rockets over here, which usually it's not like a bad sign, but it's not really a good sign. So I'm gonna scan this contract address. Oh, so that's the other thing. You have to be in the appropriate safe sniper channel if you want to use this tool. So like I'm in the ETH safe sniper channel, so I can paste ETH contracts in here and it'll just pull this up. But because I wasn't in the BSC when I got out of it to show you this example, you can just click on this, join the channel, and then when you come back in here, you can paste it and it'll work. So this one looks really kind of fishy to me. This one's tough. I don't know if I'd invest in it. 10% is pretty big tax, but for Binance Smart Chain, Ethereum, it's usually lower. Binance, you're going to usually have higher taxes. Um, the lock is what's weird to me. 15 days isn't your typical lock. Sometimes, usually you see like 2 days, or like a day that they'll extend to like a week when they hit a certain market cap. But a lot of times you get like, I'd say anywhere from a week, 2 weeks, a month, 3 months. You don't get that weird, 15 days. It's technically 2 weeks, but it's just weird. Plus it comes up red. It's an unverified contract. Um, so I would probably, because it looks like that, I'd come to Token Sniffer and see what Token Sniffer says, because Token Sniffer is pretty good at detecting things, but I've also noticed that this can be false, especially on early tokens. Um, Okay, this one says that yeah, it's locked 2 weeks. So that looks pretty normal to me actually. You know, the owner has 10.6% of the circulation, which isn't great, but it's not like the end of the world. It's not verified. I don't like that. I don't like when it's not uploaded because what reason do they have to not upload it to be verified? It just usually means that they're probably trying to scam you. Um, and the taxes because they like when they're under 5% or token sniffer does. I probably wouldn't buy it if I were to have caught it like down here. I might have thrown like $5 at it, just because it might go up. If it was sellable, then I would have been up $15. And if you want to dabble in this stuff, I would recommend starting in the Binance Smart Chain because that's a really good area to just play around in. It's cheaper. You can lose a lot of money in Ethereum because you might throw some money in and then panic and be like, I want to sell, I'm going to lose, and then you just lose a lot of money. Um, so I know this video is actually getting pretty long here, but I'm almost done. The main thing I would pay attention to is just things in the media. I'm sure you guys have noticed that a lot of developers like to launch tokens with the name of current events, and it could be something like today Solana was, doing like it was shit all day. People were shorting it. I think there was like a whole bunch of people unstaked their Solana or something like that. If I read an article right, I don't read all this stuff like some of you Sir Millionaires people do, but uh, so anyways, you want to look for those names, and in this case, like see here Solana Classic, it's what they do. They know people are going to buy it because it's in the media. Some people might be just Google searching it, anybody that's in the degen space knows that when something big happens, like when Queen Elizabeth passed away, there were a ton of Queen Elizabeth tokens. So just pay attention to the media because that's how you can catch things. Sometimes you will see multiple tokens pop up. So like let's say you get like 4 Solana 2.0s in a row. Well, chances are only one of them is probably real. The other three are fake contracts trying to scam people, into buying it because they know that one is coming out. Okay, here's a notification for a new one, and I'll show you about this tool too. Um, this is where the kit and caboodle is. That's where the good money is, and we'll get to that at the very end. So, anyways, if you find 2 or 3 of the same name, that's a good sign that there's probably a legitimate token for it launching. So you probably want to purchase it. Or you don't want to purchase that one. You want to do a little digging, make sure you're buying the right one and not the fake ones. But usually, like for example, if 3 of them launch and the one has like tons of transactions, that's a good sign that that's the real one. So pay attention. If you see like 3 or 4, look out for that name. See if it drops in here with a ton of transactions right away. Jump into it because chances are that's a good token. You could buy right away and just be confident. Um, but with that being said, let me get to the final thing that I use. Now this is like my secret. This is what I like to use, and it's kind of the same as just looking here. But I do this when I'm in front of my computer. If I'm out, if I'm at work, and I just don't have time to sit here. This is great, and I'm sure a lot of you don't know about this. If you just go to new pairs, um, there's a Telegram drop down here, and you could just choose a lot of a couple different chains. So I would choose the Ethereum chain because that's the one I want to get new pair notifications for, and there's only 1,400 people in it, which is crazy to me. Um, so it just basically shares new pairs in here, and like one of the ones that I just caught that's earned me a lot of money so far, it's still going up, is Solana 2. It launched, and as soon as it launched, I went to the very bottom. Well, I was actually looking at it at the very bottom. You can actually see my purchase in here is, I think it was in the 9 area. You know what? I don't know. I can't even find it. I know I got in really early on it. But if you look at it, it's a really good chart. I got in like down here, and I was able to get in because I got this notification. It like pinged my phone. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, come here. You can click on it. You can open up Dex Screener right away. You can see how many transactions there are. If there's only like 2 in the beginning and they're not really populating, it's probably not a good sign, or it could just be a really slowly, where people say like we're gonna organically grow. Um, just I don't know. I like it when a whole bunch of green, just a green wall is just there like that, and it just you can tell they're all purchased really close together. Could be bots. It could be anything. Chances are those are bots buying in, and then a lot of those bots just dump right afterwards, and then people try to race to eat the dip. Um, but this tool is like really, it's a godsend. I mean, you could even just scan on tokens differ right from there. This is how I found the Solana Classic and the Solana Classic, the other one, the two of them this morning, where I made some money on. A lot of money, I should say. And I was just at work and it popped through, so I pulled up MetaMask on my phone and I just threw some money at it, 50 bucks that I had just sitting in my wallet. And now instead of 50 bucks, I have like 1200 in my wallet. So, well, I did. I sent some to my bank, but um, a lot of these can be fakes too, though. So you have to be careful. Like they're not all going to be real. And if you do the BSC one, you'll notice there's tons of fake ones in the BSC one. ETH, I've noticed because I've been doing ETH lately, it doesn't have as many fakes, but there are like this one's fake. Like if we open it, I can show you right away. It has no liquidity. So this guy pulled the liquidity. That's why there's been no transactions in it. Burn. Let's check this one. This one started out with two transactions that were just sells, and the market cap's 1.9. This is garbage. Like you don't look at it. You just that's one that I wouldn't invest in. Um, Here's one Solana protocol. I do remember this one. It was a real token. I was in it. I think I got in like here, and I sold like here. So like I didn't even make any money on this one. I think I shared that in the Millionaires group too. Maybe I don't know. But that's it, guys. Um, that's what I do, and as you can tell, it makes money. Just like 5 minutes ago, this was $300, and it can go down fast too. And that's why you have to be safe and remember to take profits when you're up, because even just some profits, like right now, I should probably sell half of this. I'm not going to do it because I'm a Degen Chad with diamond hands. But that's what costs me. Hopefully you guys aren't stupid like me and you guys make money on this stuff. So with that said, I hope you learned something. And